Do you feel you don't have enough time to prepare for your exams? Do you feel you cannot finish all the portions in time? Or you feel no matter how hard you work or how much you study, you still feel you have not studied enough? You are still not confident enough to face the exams? Today's topic is all about how you can effectively prepare for your exams within a short span of time. My name is Aravind and this channel is all about helping you learn faster. If you are interested in learning how to learn, then subscribe this channel and click the notification bell. Tip number 1. Whenever you are troubled by fearful thoughts like the time is running out, exams are nearing, how can I cover all the portions before the exams, etc., you will feel the stress and tension. When you pick up the book and start studying, your mind can't focus on what you study and you get bored easily because you are stressed. When you are bored, you easily get distracted. You are no longer interested in the book as your attention is somewhere else. You start feeling like doing something that is interesting instead of studying. So you start doing something that interests you. Time flies. Now when you remember that you have got your exam soon, you become tensed. This is a cycle. And the root cause of this problem is the fact you were tensed when you started studying. So the key is to keep your mind calm before you study. You can try chewing gum or focus on your breath for 4 minutes and observe how you breathe. Or try the laughing technique, which is nothing but laughing for no reason, no particular reason for a few minutes. These are some of the techniques which can relax you instantly and prepare you for your study session. The second tip, you should definitely learn about the Pareto principle. This is one of the most helpful concepts for life. Pareto principle suggests that 20% of your activities will account for 80% of your results. This is also known as the 80-20 rule. This principle is applicable to all our activities including studies. Simply put, it says just 20% of the concepts in your book will fetch you 80% result. That is, you will score 80 marks in your exam just by studying 20% of the entire book. So all you need to do is to identify those important topics in your textbook. How to filter out the important topics from your textbook? Look for the highlighted text in the chapter you are studying. Go through the summary which is given at the end of each chapter. Take note of the review topics that is given in your class. Keenly observe and take note of the topics that your teacher gives more importance while taking class. Even by doing these simple things, you can get a clear idea about what is important in your textbook and what needs more focus. As each subject is unique, take note of the important concepts accordingly. The core concepts in some of the subjects may be more than 20%, like 30 or 40%. So analyze the subject and study accordingly. While studying, take care to cover these core concepts first and then focus on the remaining topics. Tip number 3. The important thing you should do is to write down all the study tools you are using to prepare for your exams. The next step is to sort this list according to their importance, like a top 10 list. For instance, the first and foremost is your textbook. Number 2 is your online class. Number 3, the educational videos. Number 4, the notes given by your teacher, etc. Prepare a list like this that is very helpful for you. Once the list is ready, take time to go through the list and analyze why these tools are good for you, how they are helpful to your exam, how they aid your understanding in learning the concepts or the things in your book. Find out which one in the list are extremely helpful to you. When you do this, you will realize that there are some in the list which you find easy to study and some which are difficult. Pick out the easy ones and focus on them. When you do this, you become aware of the study tool or study material which suits you and is extremely useful to you. Studying then becomes easy and interesting. Fourth tip. Do you need time to relax? Do you need time to play? More importantly, do you wish to be free of the guilty feeling of not putting enough effort into studying? Then the first thing you should do is to prepare a timetable. Take care to give more importance for the core topics in your timetable. Divide your portions into two categories. The portions you know well in one category and those you have not learnt yet in another category. Allot more time on the topics that you haven't learned yet and less time for those you already know, and spend the time just for revising the learned concepts. A perfect timetable varies from person to person. It depends on the study habits of each and every student. It is said that when you study in the morning, your mind is fresh and alert, and so you can grasp anything fast. But this may vary from student to student. Some students prefer to study in the evenings or even in the afternoon. Some may be night owls studying at night. So find out which time suits your study session and prepare a timetable accordingly. Once you have a perfect timetable in your hand, half of your worries are over. Everything will then seem very easy. Tip number 5. Study actively and energetically. Most of the students start studying the moment they take the book out to study. Instead, if you study actively, whatever you learn gets stored easily in the mind within a short time. There are lots of methods to study actively. Now that you have your exams are nearing and you don't have enough time in hand, I will share some practical tips with you. Prepare a list of keywords from whatever you have learned so far. When you identify the important points in the topic and write them separately, you get to understand what are the contents of the topic and what are all important in the topic. Next, suppose you have studied for an hour at a stretch, then stop there and try to write the list of what you studied in 2 lines. This helps you to get a good grasp of the subject, and your mind also stores the information easily. Now on to some bonus tips. Study the small chapters and topics now itself at one stretch and don't put them for a later time. Your confidence level will increase. Always make it a habit to revise all that you have studied within 24 hours of studying them. Eat good energy foods and healthy snacks. Thank you for watching until the very end of this video. If you think this video is helpful, then comment, like, share with your friends and consider subscribing this channel. I will see you next week with my new video.